What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're talking about The Witcher 3 on the Nintendo Switch and how well this game has done. Now, we know that PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC versions have sold multi-millions worth of copies and all of that. That's been well known. But the interesting thing that came out of a recent CD Projekt Red management board report is that the Nintendo Switch version of The Witcher 3 has sold over 700,000 units in 2019 alone. Now, for those who don't know, The Witcher 3 launched at the end of the year. It launched at the end of the year on the Nintendo Switch, years and years after the original release on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and also PC. It was also full priced on the Nintendo Switch, so while you can get the PS4 and Xbox One versions with the complete editions for like 30 bucks at the time or something like that, maybe even cheaper on discount or sale, Switch owners had to pay $60 for it. But this was a very unique game because the game actually came on a 32 gigabyte cartridge, which included all of the content that was already released on previous systems without an extra download, unless you wanted to download some type of like texture or more updates or something like that. But pretty much the whole game was intact on the cartridge, which is very, I would say, scarce for some of these big third-party games. Games like Mortal Kombat, for example, make you have to download more because they wanted to use a smaller cartridge size. And of course, that deal kind of came about with Nintendo probably saying, hey, heck yeah, we want this game. Obviously, this is a big game. We want it on the Nintendo Switch. And you know what? It paid off by doing that because people really responded. Switch owners went out there and purchased the game, 700,000 units for a few months on the market because the sales stopped at 2019. So it doesn't include all of this year as well, and people who have been picking up the game because it was discounted a little bit, I think to like $44 or so on Best Buy just a bit ago. So more and more people are going to pick this up, and this is definitely going to cross 1 million units on the Nintendo Switch eventually this year at some point. We don't know when it will, or even if it's already there at this point, considering we're already 4 months into the year. But this is fantastic. This is great news. It's great news for third-party developers out there because now they have confidence that if they put out their big Switch port, if they pay a Panic Button or if they pay a Virtuos or somebody else, or heck, even Saber, right, to do a Switch port. Well, Saber now works for THQ Nordic. They got acquired. But like if they pay them, then they can get it done and it can sell if it's a good port of the game that takes care of what it needs to take care of in order for Switch owners to feel satisfied even at $60. Now, of course, it'd be better if it was cheaper than that, but at the same time, like, it's not cheap to actually produce these games on the Nintendo Switch. It takes a lot of work and a lot of different talents in order to get this done. So I'm very happy that the Nintendo Switch version of The Witcher 3 sold so well, and it's going to break that 1 million in 2020. So that's definitely good to see for third-party support, in addition to the developers, CD Projekt Red, who do a fantastic job when it comes to PR and marketing and their games. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of actually playing their games, but I always buy them. It's so funny because I've bought like every single Witcher, you know. I'm not even like a big Witcher fan. I don't like the games that much, but I always buy them because I appreciate their dedication in terms of customers and all of that, man. They really are very customer friendly, and I'll buy Cyberpunk, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like that either, but I'll buy it. But anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on The Witcher 3 surpassing 700,000 units in just a few months on the market on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic, we've got some Famitsu sales numbers, and man, oh man, is Animal Crossing New Horizons absolutely killing it. This is insane, guys. When you guys hear some of these numbers and these stats, you are going to be blown away. Now, on a side note, we did have Resident Evil 3 Remake that opened up at 189,490 retail sales. And remember, Famitsu is just Japan. Nothing else outside of that, and it's not digital sales either. So Resident Evil 3 Remake, not a bad opening on the PlayStation 4. The Xbox One version is pretty much non-existent, and obviously PC isn't counted here as well. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a comparison, Resident Evil 2 Remake opened opened up at 252,848 sales back in January of 2019. So a little bit of a dip, but not too bad considering the quality of Resident Evil 2 Remake is better than Resident Evil 3 Remake. Resident Evil 2 is a better game, so that's understandable considering all things here. But the big thing, guys, is Animal Crossing New Horizons sales and also the Nintendo Switch. This is nuts. I've never seen anything like this for a game in Japan. Animal Crossing New Horizons sales is literally record-breaking. It's smashing records. Not only that, but it's really going to pass up all of the Switch's big games. So think about it, guys. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pokemon Sword and Shield. All of these games will be passed up in terms of physical retail sales like in the next week or two. Like within the next 2 or 3 weeks, it is going to be a wrap. Like it's going to pass it up because Animal Crossing New Horizons once again sold another 423,367 units. That puts its total up to 3,031,784 units in 3 weeks on the market. It is selling over 1 million units per week in Japan. That is the average at this point, which is just nuts. And that doesn't include digital sales either. Huge, very big. Now, in comparison, let's take a look at some of the other big games. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, since it's been released back in 2018, at the end of 2018, that has 3,635,531 retail sales. So Animal Crossing is right there, about 600,000 units behind it. Now, if you look at the next big game, that would be Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's at 3,553,541 units. 500,000 units or so around from that. So I would probably say within the next 3 weeks or so, it's going to pass up Pokemon Sword and Shield and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And it's already passed up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and some of the other big games in Japan. So that is just nuts to see that. Now, I will have the top 10 for you guys. There'll be a link in the description below if you want to check out all the numbers in terms of the top 10 sales. And then later they actually add the top 30 sales for Japan. But I do want to move into some of the hardware sales as well, because once again, the Nintendo Switch is still killing it despite there being a shortage. People are ordering as fast and as much as they can. The Switch Lite by itself sold 100,084 units, which is really good for the Switch Lite. The regular Switch, which is supply constrained, sold 54,556 units. Now, that is an impressive total of 154,640 units for the past week, which is just absolutely insane. In comparison, the PlayStation 4, which did get the big new release of Resident Evil 3, sold 19,535 units. So clearly getting beat quite badly, but this has been happening for quite some time. So it's not really a surprise to see the Nintendo Switch kind of outselling the PlayStation 4 at this point. It really isn't, but this is just great sales overall for Animal Crossing. And when people said that this could be Nintendo's biggest game out there and some scoffed, man, it's really looking like Animal Crossing New Horizons will be the best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch at some point, especially if these sales continue. And we still don't know the rest of the world sales. I mean, it's doing this good in Japan. Usually America is a lot bigger when it comes to certain releases, and I'm guessing with as many people that are playing Animal Crossing that I see, I'm guessing that the sales are probably more than this in the US. So we could be looking at like 5 or 6 million already in the US and another 2 to 3 million in Europe. So 10 million units plus when you combine all areas already for Animal Crossing New Horizons. But we'll find out when Nintendo has their financial reports, when that does come up sometime this month. So what are you guys' thoughts on the sales here? Are you guys impressed by Animal Crossing New Horizons? What do you think about Resident Evil 3 Remake sales in Japan as well? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, it seems like we got a release date for Streets of Rage 4 on the Nintendo Switch and other systems, but then we didn't because then there was an update. So originally, it seemed like Streets of Rage 4 will launch on the Nintendo Switch this month. There was a release date on the eShop store page saying that, yep, it's going to be April 23rd. and we did know that it was going to be spring, right? So Streets of Rage, obviously classic franchise. People are really looking forward to this game. It's been a long time since the last Streets of Rage title, and this one's actually looking pretty cool. So everyone's excited for it. But the developers of the game, .emu, stated that, wait a minute, quote, the date is not final or confirmed. So it's unclear whether the game is actually going to launch this month or not, because .emu does say it will be soon, quote unquote. So they're not giving a final type of thing, which has been weird with this game for the first like however many months or year that it's been announced. Man, they've been like really wishy-washy with what's going on with this game and when things are coming and release. But we have had enough footage of the game to show that it is probably going to be pretty good, and I know that people are going to be looking forward to it. Mainline entry in the Streets of Rage franchise that's been around for decades now at this point. So hopefully it does launch this April. I would love to see it April 23rd. I think that's a great date for the game. There is some other games coming out, like Trials of Mana, for example, that comes out the following day if it does stay to this April 23rd launch date, but it's a beat 'em up that you can probably beat in not too long of a time. I think it'd be a fun little game to play with your friends and everything like that. So what are you guys' thoughts on all the different topics that we discussed here, guys? The Witcher 3 and its good sales on the Nintendo Switch, Animal Crossing absolutely destroying the world at this point, or Japan at least, and also Streets of Rage 4's potential release date. I'd love to hear in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the link in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow and stay up to date on all the latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you for the next one. Peace.